Here's a matchup to watch, Tom, that's fun. Barrett's kind of a young bull, likes to push the ball to the paint. McGee on the defensive end for Mississippi State, he's an older bull. These two guys will collide offensively and defensively. Fun to watch.
And so State controls the tip. Josh Hubbard will have the ball in his hands. His 72nd consecutive start for the Bulldogs this afternoon. Quincy Ballard kicks it back out.
And keep an eye on how many different looks that Josh Hubbard will get, whether it's double team or whether they switch.
And he's listed at 6 feet. That might be a bit of a stretch. McGee, nice feed. And the turnaround jump hook is good for Achor.
Pretty good possession, nearly 30 seconds. Not quite right. The shot clock was running down.
Missouri coming off of a disappointing loss on the road against Alabama. They allowed 90 points in that loss, trailed 42-29 at the half, and never recovered. Into
the starting lineup, Trent Pierce. Maybe he can get the jump shot going early for this Missouri team on the offensive end.
The healthy Jaden Stone has been a difference maker for the Tigers since conference play. Barrett draws the foul. They want to attack Josh Hubbard on the offensive end and make him work, and he won't pick up the foul here. It's Achor who gets charged with it.
Yeah, most teams think of Josh Hubbard as a scorer. He's a solid defender, but teams want to attack him, make him play, and wear down on the defensive end.
Chris Jans told his team before the game that they need to check well because Mizzou will come for rebounds. And he stressed to secure the rebound with 2 hands and expects a physical game. First one goes for T.O. Barrett. Chris Jans has a couple of guys that can really fill it up. They're averaging 78 points a game. But they really struggled first half against LSU. 32% shooting and just 1 for 10 from 3. Good crowd on this Saturday afternoon here in Columbia, and Mizzou will pick up full court.
Well, we'll see how much pressure they put on. Hubbard, very tough to defend, very good with the basketball. McGee's pretty solid. The transfer from UAB, our good friend Andy Kennedy.
And State will bring one of its top scorers, Jaden Epps, off the bench again. See how that works out. Here's Sean Jones Jr. and now McGee, who's a sensational high school football player. Now 5 on the clock, into the hands of Hubbard. Got Phillips in the air, whistles it inside, and Mitchell comes away with the block. Shot clock violation. Great defense by the Mizzou big.
Again, the double team on Hubbard, trying to get the ball out of his hands. He made a terrific pass to Achor underneath, but even a better defensive play. Mark Mitchell's guarding 2 guys, 2 bigs underneath, still makes the play defensively.
So the sophomore from Oklahoma City, T.O. Barrett, had a monster game against his home state school in the buzzer-beating win against OU a week ago. And now Mitchell draws a double. Barrett has not proven to be an effective deep shooter, but this guy is, and Trent Pierce throws it in.
When Pierce steps into the jump shot, he is almost automatic. Outstanding shooter from deep.
What makes Hubbard go?
Well, the fact is, he goes because he's so good off the bounce to dribble. The amount of pressure he puts off the bounce gets him into his jump shot early.
Nice touch by Jabari McGee, coming off of an 11-point game in the loss in Baton Rouge.
And the 3rd straight game that McGee has been in the starting lineup. You mentioned, Tom, that Epps will come in off the bench. Epps an outstanding defender and also score.
Mitchell passes on the 3. And now gets it back. He only hits big threes. The game winner against Oklahoma. By the way, that was the first off-the-dribble 3 that Mark Mitchell has made in his entire career. Pierce follows up with a high arcing shot.
So we've seen Pierce take 1 dribble to the right. Now we've seen him take 1 dribble to the left. Could go either way.
Nice addition to the lineup. Hubbard off the window, off the rim, and they get Ballard for basket interference. Here's head coach Dennis Gates for Missouri. 30-3 here in this building over the last 2 seasons. And a couple of tight ones lately. First Georgia and then Oklahoma. Sean Phillips hands it off to Barrett. And Barrett gets it. That is a rarity. Just his 5th make from deep this season.
Well, what a start for Missouri from deep. They have knocked in 3 of their 3 field goal attempts.
Hubbard left it short. Barrett the rebound, and Missouri a chance to push. Stone in transition launches. It's a first miss for Mizzou. 4 attempts from deep.
And I think the Bulldogs will want to run. They can't throw it away, though.
Hand up on the 3. That's off the mark, and collision underneath will result in a foul on Trent Pierce.
I don't think Chris Jantz minds running because the Hubbard that gets him out on the floor. Nobody can trap him. They can't double team him.
Sergei Matsura checks in for the first time.
Outstanding player, knows the game. He was terrific at LSU. 10 points, 10 rebounds, had a steal, had an assist. He was involved in about every play down the stretch of that game.
Played on the Slovenian national team. Nick Randall will enter at the next whistle, and they're going to make him come in now. Dennis Gates does this a lot. He'll tell a player, go to the scorer's table, but don't come in until after X, either after a free throw is made or after the ball is inbounded. But that time, Jason Baker said, no, he's checked in. He has to come in.
Strategy, Tom, strategy. I'd say this, if you're a player and a guy calls your name, you go in a hurry.
You don't give him a chance. Here's Pierce. Hubbard trying to be a gnat and bother, but he can't.
What a start for Pierce. He's got 8 quick points. Missouri off to a quick start. Not what Chris Jantz wanted.
Bulldogs have turned it over a couple times. Hubbard can't shake Barrett. Davis Fleming kicks it out, 9 to shoot. Here's McGee, he is physical. Gets it back, it didn't hit the rim. They got a fire, it's Jones, got it! Sean Jones Jr.
Does not shoot well beyond the three-point line, 22%, but hit a couple threes in the game this week against LSU, 2 for 3, so confidence is high.
Tigers off to a sizzling start, now 5 of 6 from the field. Mark Mitchell gets his first bucket. Hubbard so far 0 for 2 and a whistle on the pass. And they're going to get Pierce again, I believe. If that's his second. Missouri's leading scorer so far will likely head to the bench. But John Sunvold, Missouri red hot from deep. Shooting
it well in this building, which they do, and Trent Pierce inserted in the starting lineup, gets 2 threes, gets the Tigers off to an early lead. Does the way if they shoot the ball well, then it opens everything up, and a guy like Mark Mitchell, we saw him drive baseline, he slam dunked. The thing is, when Missouri shoots it, spreads out a defense, allows more avenues of lanes for a guy like Mitchell or a guy like Barrett that likes to drive it to the rim.
State has not done a good job of taking care of the basketball. 3 turnovers already. It's led to 8 Missouri points, and it's cost them opportunities to get shots in. Off the baseline, out of bounds. A lob results in a foul on Barrett.
What terrific play by Barrett, because Sean Jones is a high riser, and they put it right on the money. Barrett read it, but that's a good foul. Put someone on the line instead of having an easy dunk.
Senior from Houston, Texas, out of Shadow Creek High School. He had an 8-point, 3-rebound game in the loss to LSU. 63% from the free throw line. In the win, excuse me, against LSU. That wasn't kind of me. I would have put him under 500.
And it was on the road. Sometimes you get a double W for winning on the road.
Never trailed in that game. Held LSU to just 32% shooting.
Matchup zone defense by Chris Jantz. Even Dennis Gates, I think, smiled down there. He didn't see Chris Jantz do that a whole lot. But you got to keep your hands up. If they're to the side, Missouri will try to pick you apart.
Anthony Robinson in the game finds Mitchell, and he drills it. Mark Mitchell has made 9 threes on the season. 6 of them have come in league play.
Could you imagine if he turned into a shooter outside? Whew.
Difference maker. Mitchell's got to cover the corner. Matsura will pick up his dribble and find Hubbard, and he draws 4 eyes on him immediately.
He's a quick elevator to get to his jump shot.
Nice move.
He's got a wide variety of moves to get that shot.
Here's Mitchell. Mitchell is putting up points, rebounds, and assist numbers, and that one rolls home for Barrett. Give Mitchell a hockey assist on that one, but The numbers Mitchell's put up haven't been achieved since Anthony Peeler was wearing a Missouri uniform. Inside, and Mitchell with the foul, I believe, or Randall.
Yeah, what a hot start for this Tiger team. And to think defensively, scouting reports, you're going to give Mark Mitchell the open three, he buries it. You're going to give T.O. Barrett the open three. He's now knocked in 2 of them. Do you change what you're doing defensively? Probably not. You still want those guys to take the shots.
And so how do you react as a coaching staff when guys that are not shooting big numbers get on a hot streak?
Well, we have a good seat, so it's always funny when the coaches all start looking at each other. Like, who had the scout here? Like, that was pretty pure. I think you got to go with your scouting report. See if a guy can get out of his comfort zone and make a few of them. Because what you're saying is, would you rather Mark Mitchell shoot it or a Trent Pierce? Well, we'll let Mitchell shoot it.
Davis Fleming misses them both. 10-point Mizzou lead. Tigers came in shooting 35% from deep. That's 15 points higher than State. Mitchell left it short. And at some point, it turns into fool's gold for the players who are outperforming their numbers. Here's Jaden Epps. He was a top recruit.
And Epps very good with the basketball. Not a great shooter, but a decent shooter outside.
Driving kick. And Epps picks up the assist his first time.
And that's what he does. He has started the entire season except the last 3 ball games. So Epps is good with the ball, distributing. Terrific on-ball defender.
Anthony Robinson coming off the bench for the 3rd consecutive game for Missouri, sharing the backcourt with Barrett. Phillips looking for a cutter. He finds Robinson on the wing. Oh, almost went. And Bulldogs track it down.
Boy, wouldn't Dennis Gates love to see Anthony Robinson's game get on the upswing?
They're playing physical. Hubbard pump fake, lost Robinson once.
Kind of missed an opportunity to take a shot, didn't he?
Epps tried to dump it off Matsura, and it goes back to Mizzou. Another Mississippi State turnover, 4th of the game.
It's what they didn't do at LSU early in the game. Shot it well, didn't have turnovers, rebounded well. The difference this afternoon, though, for Mississippi State is the fact that Missouri is playing so well early offensively, shooting a high percentage, 7 for 10 from the field.
And the Tigers have yet to turn it over. Mitchell muscles his way, then whips it in the corner for Cruz. Jacob Cruz with the 3.
Tom, I don't know if you saw this when Mitchell caught the ball, Matsura was waving for another defender to come help double team. He quickly understood my strengths and my weaknesses.
Help, help. Robinson may have gotten away with a trip. Jones goes down. Icy roads, slippery court. McGee left it short after Phillips challenges. Big fella bringing it down. 3-on-3. Here's Cruz. Stone left open. It results in Robinson hesitating, and now Mitchell. Mitchell waiting in the corner.
And did you mention fool's gold early?
Yep. Robinson had it. It's off of Mississippi State and across the baseline. And Robinson sharing his opinion. What do you mean you don't like Avatar? It was a great movie. We'll continue after this. Well, a little skirmish here in Boone County. Demolition Derby at the Boone County Fair, and as a result of this shove, Sean Phillips Jr. picks up a dead ball technical foul. Mississippi State will have 2 free throws and the ball. Chris Jans trying to sort it out at the end of that before he went to break. You understand why McGee would be bothered. Chris Jans told his team in the locker room before the game that this was going to be a physical game, and his coaching staff has said the secret to our success will be simple. It'll be competing harder, and they really love the level of competition that they had on the road at LSU, and now the challenge is to repeat it. And after a slow offensive start, Mississippi State trails by 10, but we'll get an extra possession here after the Phillips technical.
Continue
Still sorting through over at the replay.
And continue to play harder play-by-play. Now, when you're down early on the road, what you have to do is just stay with what you're doing. Missouri just had a hot start. So you stay with what you're doing. Missouri, silly dead ball foul by Phillips. This gives 2 free throws attempts at least to Mississippi State. If they make those, then they get the ball. Now there's a cute couple.
Yeah, I don't know if those guys are related or not. Think they came together?
Huh.
Well, this phone's about to blow up. Mississippi State started just 2 for 7, but 3 for 4 since. Pat Adams, Todd Austin, and Jason Baker behind Pat. Still sorting through what occurred after the ball went out of bounds off of Mississippi State. I thought it was pretty cut and dry. Jason Baker let us know there'd be a dead ball technical foul on Phillips. Yet they seem to be sorting through a little bit more. And it could be a scenario where they're looking at Mississippi State, well, any players coming off the bench. Typically, it's the bench that's closest to the action.
Yeah, that's
because the
always a
whistle's
problem.
blown. Well, Jans was on the floor. That's okay.
And really, and not much is going on here until that happens. Cruz trying to get, now there's a timeout, so if there's a timeout, right, there's a timeout, can you come try to?
Yes, but they're very picky about it, and I would not be surprised, especially the length of this, that there wouldn't be an ejection for coming off the bench and onto the court. There's not much leeway for the timeout. So what's interesting is all the cameras are typically pointed at this end of the floor, and the guys on the other end may or may not have come out, but there may be.
But again, yeah, that's right.
If T.O. Barrett came running across midcourt, and if they have that angle, that would certainly be more. Or was that Boateng that came?
Well, in today's world, maybe we can find a judge in the building, and we'll just ask him to clarify it. Because I would argue it's a timeout. They called timeout. We were going to a break.
Yep.
And so players come out all the time on a timeout, but the officials. But you're right, Barrett came running down. There was 1 or 2 that came off Mississippi State's bench.
So would you get a Boone County judge or Tebba County judge?
Yeah, maybe you have one of each, and they'd both say, "Hey, we'll just, you're good, we're good."
And then we have a duel. 10 paces.
10 paces. Turn, fire.
Yeah, they're explaining it to Dennis Gates and Chris Jans. And we'll get an announcement soon and an explanation.
After review, technical foul call on Missouri number 15, Sean Phillips Jr. That's his first.
That's it.
15 foul.
Here's Pat Adams.
During the insinuate play, we have a dead ball contact technical foul on white number 15. Black would shoot 2 shots, and Black would have the ball out of bounds.
I think it takes a great feel for officials to manage the game. I don't think anybody wanted to see ejections on either side for taking a step or 2. Epps has another one coming, thanks to the technical. It's a first personal on Phillips.
I thought well handled because, you don't want to see anybody gone, and really nobody came out to do anything.
Right.
I think both teams are trying to just get their players to the bench.
I always think about the Alabama game that was played the same weekend of the Iron Bowl, where Alabama was playing, I think, in Madison Square Garden, and their star point guard ended up playing 3-on-5 to end the game when the entire bench was ejected.
That's right.
And he almost won the game.
He almost won.
Colin Sexton just took over. Minnesota said, Richard Pitino was the head coach at the time, said, we hadn't practiced our 3-on-5 or 5-on-3 zone defense. Here's Epps.
Well, it could turn into a 4-point swing.
Off
Missed opportunity.
Phillips.
Yeah, missed opportunity by Epps.
I think Epps is a fantastic story. A couple of years ago, he was 3rd in the Big East in scoring. 18.5 points a game for Georgetown. He came out of high school as a top 100 recruit. Kansas wanted him, UConn wanted him. He ended up playing for Brad Underwood at Illinois. And when this staff got him, they thought they would get great scoring. And you look at his numbers over the course of his career.
Well, think of who he played for. Brad Underwood, 1, and then Ed Cooley, 2. So he's been under 2 terrific coaches. And we got to Mississippi State, much better on-ball defender. Now he picks up a foul there. But a guy that's a veteran that can give them leadership, not bothered by playing alongside a guy that's going to probably shoot it a little more than you're used to with other people.
And Anthony Robinson draws a foul on Epps, junior from Tallahassee, 68% from the free throw line, but only 51% in league play. Robinson's struggles over the last couple of weeks must be really frustrating for the player himself and for the coach, who's got great belief in him and stood by him for a long time.
You know, Tom, you don't forget how to play as a player. But the space between the 2 ears gets in your way, and you just start struggling with your confidence. He needs to have a game where, on the offensive end, a couple things go right. He's still a terrific defender, but I think offense affects your defense. You're not performing on one end, it hurts you on the other.
Epps using the screen, pull-up jumper over Phillips.
And how good has Epps been when he's come in this lineup?
Mitchell fires it inside to Phillips, and a strong move by the 7-footer, but he can't finish, and State gets the push the other way. Epps high off the glass, and he's doing it without Hubbard on the floor for a moment.
Hesitation, you still want to make him shoot the jump shot. He can explode, he can finish.
Missouri led by 10. State has have the lead on 5 of 7 makes. Stone will bring it back out.
McGee, a good defender. Stone, a terrific offensive player.
Phillips to Robinson. He'll pull. Second miss from deep for Anthony Robinson.
And if you're Epps, what are you going to do?
Shoot it.
Stone almost had. I can't believe he didn't take it off the dribble.
Yeah. Three's good, and State on a run.
King Grace. And King Grace, ultimate in confidence. Chris Jansen. Kid came in, he's confident, has now earned more minutes the last 4 ball games.
Probably brings a smile to our buddy Richard Williams' face. Hope he's doing well.
Yes, sir.
And healing nicely. Coach, we miss you in Columbia. Mizzou with a 2-point advantage. And State has gone on a 7-0 run over the last minute 17.
And it's been the guys off the bench. First guy was Jade Epps. Could do it off the bounce, off the shot, and then he exploded off the glass. Now again, this is a veteran player. He's got a lot of things in his offensive bag, and this one by King Grace. Last few ball games, he played 21 minutes at A&M, 20 minutes against Vandy, 13 at LSU. And in those 3 ball games, 29 points. His confidence continues to get high. When I asked the coaching staff, I said, is he just getting confident? They said, no. He's always been confident. We now are getting confidence in him to play him more.
Grace, freshman from Dallas, part of a top freshman high school recruiting class, number 12 in the nation by Chris Jans and his fantastic staff. And defensively, State has made it more difficult. Missouri started this game 7 for 8, just 1 for 6 since that red-hot start.
A couple jump shot misses by Mitchell, a couple jump shot misses by Robinson. Nobody offensive glass, but again, that was a focal point for the Bulldogs. Must rebound. Now Pierce back in. We've seen him already make 2 threes. Remember, he's got 2 personal fouls.
Relying on those guys from deep would be like panning for gold in Hinkson Creek. May not pay off. Here's Barrett. 4 to play. Barrett spins and fires. That one almost hit the Raptors. And a foul on the rebound will go against Missouri, and that is the 3rd. Pardon me, it's on Cruz, not Pierce.
It's a good whistle for Cruz and not Pierce.
Indeed.
I thought Pierce had picked up his 3rd person. And Dennis Gates playing a guy with 2 personal fouls. Coaches make different decisions. Pierce isn't a guy that usually picks up a lot of fouls on the offensive end because he's not a driver of the basketball.
Epps lost Mitchell. He thought there was somebody else helping.
How about this first half by Epps? He is in total control off the bounce. Not one Mizzou defender has stopped him from doing what he wants to do.
Mitchell going to work, and he gets a foul from Ballard. Well, the script is flipped. He's already started hot and cooled off, and State just the opposite.
I think they just got Hubbard for the reach-in.
Oh. That's his first.
Shooting 2 for the Tigers, number 25.
And Mark Mitchell goes to the free throw line.
Did not have a very good game in Alabama from the foul line.
Oh, saw those numbers. Holy smokes, 1 for 8.
1 for 8. And the team was 8 for 23.
And he's, from a volume perspective, over the years, one of the guys in college basketball goes to the line more than most. 105 makes from the charity stripe this season.
Well, when we were here last against Oklahoma, he made 10 of 12 free throws. So you go in stretches. Now, could Barrett keep Epps from doing what Epps wants to do with the ball?
Ball's off the rim, and Phillips has the rebound. And Grace with a near steal collides with Pierce. It's the first on Grace. State on a 12-1 run over the last 3:21. Pierce looks like he's okay after all of this.
Not a good foul. That's not where coaching staff want. They don't mind you being aggressive, but you don't need to collide that far away from the rim.
Hubbard makes Barrett give it up. And Cruz for 3.
Pretty good two-man play when you have a guy like Stone that can either shoot it or take it off the dribble, and the guy setting the screen is Cruz, who likes to pick and pop. He's a quick catch and release guy.
Another fall by a State player on the offensive end. This is the third in the first 12 minutes of this game. Missouri clinging to a 2-point lead against State. Okay. And Texas right there last 4 in.
And Texas has played well. And if they get that win on the road today, they keep kind of moving up a notch week by week.
Duke took care of the Hokies in Blacksburg. That's been a tough trip for them over the years.
We've seen T.O. Barrett offensively likes to get to the paint. Doesn't mind posting up. Stone, soft rims, helps his jump shot.
He went 2 for 4 from deep in that last game, a loss on the road against Alabama. You know, a couple games before that, Missouri really struggled at the outset against LSU. I had the Georgia game on earlier today. They fouled behind almost immediately. Do you think a chore gets it to go? Do you think we're seeing more streaks in college basketball? 10-0 runs, slow starts, rallies?
Yeah, and I don't know why. Maybe it's the pace of the game. It goes back and forth much faster than the older days when you kind of ran more offense. What I have noticed, like Georgia, a bad start at home today. South Carolina, not a good start at home today. LSU this week, not a good start at home against Mississippi State. That's more unusual than the other way around, but we're seeing more home teams start slowly.
Well, you could think about, say, some of these Mississippi State guys. Jaden Epps has only played 11 games at the hump. It's not like he's been there for 4 seasons and knows every nook and cranny.
Good point.
Did you know the dead spots on the floor at Boston Garden?
When the ball would kick out of bounds, hit the corner of the parquet floor, and a guy like Danny Ainge would just wink at you, and you go, wait a second, wait a second.
Another foul on the rebound. And Chris Jantz can't believe it. It's Sean Jones Jr. who picks up the foul. So here's Chris Jantz, who's told his team before the game, we've got to be more physical on the glass. We've got to secure rebounds with 2 hands. And every time there's a single bump, They picked up a couple of whistles. Mitchell, power move. With the right hand and a flex.
And the best thing Mitchell's teammates do is they give him space to operate. Don't cut, don't get in the way, just space it out. Let Mark Mitchell do what Mark Mitchell does.
Hubbard, hesitation, and Phillips swats it into the first row.
Sure is nice to have a shot blocker behind you if you're the guard out top. So what you do if you're defending Hubbard and he turns a corner, you don't have to try to catch up. You stay on his backside because he would like to step back for a shot. Let your big in front take care of the rim.
Another turnover on a pass down low to Sergei Matsura.
And just throw it to the rim.
Yeah.
Just throw it up to the rim, your guy gets a dunk.
2 of their 6 turnovers have come trying to fit it into Matsura on the baseline. James' team turns it over nearly 12 times a game. And meanwhile, their leading scorer, Hubbard, has only 2 points.
Might have cleared the whole side out for Mitchell.
Fade away. Phillips rebounded by Jamarion Davis-Fleming.
And good defense by Davis-Fleming.
Hubbard rising. He's got great lift on the jump shot, doesn't he?
He can elevate, yes.
Kind of reminds me of Stephon Moody back about a decade ago with Ole Miss.
Yes.
Phillips gets whistled for the foul.
And again, when you think of Moody and you think of Hubbard, it's the fact that the bounce off the dribble is so firm and gets them into the shot. It's not a lazy bounce.
Is it hard for guys that size with that much lift to replicate the mechanics that takes of being a consistent jumper?
I don't think it should. I think what's tough for a guy like Hubbard is he's option 1, 2, and 3 on a scouting report. So they're going to switch on you. I mean, it wears you down. He doesn't get many easy looks, and if he does and misses one, then you're like, my gosh, that's the easiest one I'm going to get.
It's Quincy Ballard, transferred in from Wichita State. Set the program record for blocks.
Has a very soft touch at the free throw line, 75%. Played outstanding in the win down in Baton Rouge against LSU this week. 13 points, 9 rebounds.
7-footer. Came here with Wichita State a couple of years ago. Best player in Wichita State history, one of your NBA contemporaries. X-Man.
Xavier Daniel. I thought you were going to go like Antoine Carr, Cliff Livingston.
Sure.
Throw those in there.
Wherever you want to go. Ballard at the free throw line makes his 85th start today over 3 different schools, including Florida State. They're leaning on each other inside. Barrett with the blow by Hubbard.
Tough shot, but he's a tough physical player.
Tigers lead back to 5. Here's Jaden Epps. He sizes up Stone. Bunch of shots short for Mississippi State.
Well, the thing, what I think's odd is that Epps would settle for a jump shot. They have yet to stop him when he goes off the dribble.
Stone keeps it alive. Pierce corrals. And Barrett turns it over. He's trying to get it to Stone. Hubbard directing traffic. Stop and pop. Hubbard 1 for 6 to start this game. Stone has it on a string. And it goes down hard.
Missouri plays a downhill style, aggressive, attacking. Barrett falls right into that. Contact didn't bother him. Strong enough to get it on that glass and the soft touch. Now Stone, who did the same thing, got contact, goes to the free throw line.
Substitutions, first for Mississippi State. Checking in number 2.
Jabari McGee returns for Mississippi State. Epps will get a breather.
And for Missouri, number 35, Jacob Cruz.
And Cruz, the Mizzou sharpshooter, returns. Stone started his career at Grand Canyon. Then Detroit Mercy, where he was #1 in that league in usage. He took more shots than anybody else in the league. Matsura returns. Chris Jans told his team before the game, be tough and confident with the ball.
And now Hubbard's got to attack a guy like Pierce. He's got 2 fouls. Make him defend, make him move his feet. Good job by Pierce.
McGee gets by Stone and into Cruz, and they'll get Cruz, who shakes his head in disbelief.
Dennis Gates and the coaching staff did not like it. They thought Cruz went straight up and down. We talked about McGee's ability off the dribble to get his body to the lane to get contact, likes the physicality.
Dennis Gates has a lot of confidence in his players that play with fouls. He is among Division I coaches 23rd in the country in 2 foul participation, according to Kent Baum. That's how often you take a guy out in the first half after he picks up his second. Dennis preoccupied with getting on the lack of whistle on the other side of the floor. Another one for McGee. All-state wide receiver, Winfield, Alabama. 2 of the worst shooting free throw teams in the league. Mississippi State 14th, Mizzou 16th.
Might be a fun ending, huh?
Yeah.
You know, 2 teams that average really in the mid-70s in conference play points-wise. Pretty good first half.
Stones. Short. Cruz got his hand on it. It'll be Mississippi State basketball. 3:52 to go in the first half. Tough blue-collar game, 6-point contest. Inside fog out.
Number 1 and number 2 pick. You can flip them which way you want to go, but probably 1 and 2.
Your coach, Norm Stewart, liked to play to the crowd when you guys went and played in Lawrence.
Yeah, he did. We obviously didn't stay there. We didn't buy anything there. We didn't eat there. The best was when he dropped us off, made the bus stop way in front on Naismith Drive. We walked all the way through the student body that was lining up to get in again.
What were they thinking?
Well, Norm had a top 5 team in the country, so he was saying, bring it on. So it wasn't a bad afternoon.
Hubbard for 3. Left it short. Honor Boateng in the game for the first time.
And as a scorer/shooter, you've got to have a feel for where your team is. Don't shoot your team out. You know, if you get good looks, take them. Or make the defense come at you with a couple ways.
Nearly turned it over. Hubbard took it away and they got rid of it with the left hand. And they get Jones for the up and down.
Think of that. They had an easy break. 3-on-1, 2-on-1. Jones couldn't get a handle. He'd have a turnover.
Dennis Gates just stared a dagger through Honor Boateng for his sloppiness. So the Tigers will get it back. They had a season low 4 points off of turnovers against Alabama. They already have 14 today on 7 Mississippi State turnovers.
So offensively for Missouri, you've got Mitchell, a scorer, Stone, a shooter. Robinson has been in a funk. Trent Burns is 7'5", not so much, and Boateng. So look for Mark Mitchell to do his work.
Burns waits in the corner. They keep it on this side. Can't imagine this 5 has been on the floor together very often. Shot clock expires.
And what was interesting about that, when Mark Mitchell had the ball and made a move, there was congestion. He doesn't need congestion. And again, you mentioned maybe that 5 hasn't played together.
Well, and to your point, Dennis Gates was hollering at Trent Burns to move. He started the game in the right corner, same side of the possession, same side of the floor as Mitchell.
But you really got to just keep your distance. Now, they probably won't honor Trent Burns as a shooter. We've seen him make 1 or 2 threes. Even at 7'5", they'll take the long shot.
It went at the buzzer at half against Florida. McGee gets turned around.
But how quickly T.O. Barrett can recover. It's defensively off the dribble.
And a takeaway by Anthony Robinson. And he lays it in for his first field goal of the game.
Not many better in the SEC defensively on the ball than Robinson.
Quick shot the other way for State.
I still go back. Why isn't Epps using his bounce and dribble to get where the shots he was getting earlier at 8 to 10 feet?
2 of his 5 attempts have come from deep. Stone, another ball fake. And Mitchell is able to collect the rebound. No whistle as he put it back up in a bunch of outstretched arms. Epps, pull up. Got it.
How about that? Do that again, and then again, and then again. No more step back threes. Just take it off the bounce. He's not been stopped when he does that.
Jaden Epps loving basketball, and he's got State within 6, 1:32 to go in the first half. A Mississippi State timeout. Jaden Epps came out of high school in Norfolk, Virginia by way of Combine Academy as a 4-star recruit, a top 100 recruit. Step over to Illinois, then Georgetown for some great coaches. And when they recruited him to join Josh Hubbard in the backcourt, this is what they were looking for.
Well, the idea that Jaden Epps has to share the backcourt with Hubbard, sometimes difficult, but this is what he can do. Not only defensively, but offensively. 6 of the 8 SEC games he's been in double figures. The one in the LSU game, he had 9 points, but still was successful. He can make threes, not at a high rate, although he knocked in 3 out of 4 in LSU. But what we've seen tonight, if you're an offensive player, and what's working is off the bounce, and you're making a defensive guy move and slide, keep going to the same thing until they stop it or double team. He's had a lot of success.
And back to what Damian Fishback asked you a few minutes ago, Hubbard just 1 for 8. You don't figure he's not going to return to the mean in the second half.
And you're only down 6 points.
Yeah.
I mean, you're in a comfortable position if you can close out the half in a solid way.
Robinson gets tied up, and Sean Jones Jr. gets caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Second on Jones. And Anton Robinson going back to the free throw line. Good to see the Missouri baseball team in the building today. Greg Jackson, their head coach, have got their baseball banquet. Mizzou grad Danny Wexelman, speaker at that. She does a tremendous job. Now, Robinson, whose dad Anthony, a baseball coach at Florida A&M, to the free throw line. He played for the great Charlie Ward at University High in Tallahassee. I asked him a few weeks ago, were you aware how good Charlie Ward was in everything he did? He said, man, I got to be honest. We had no idea. And then we dialed up YouTube and went, whoa, Coach was something. NBA, Heisman Trophy, national champion.
Anthony won 109 games, winning his high school play. History of Florida. Trey Donaldson was a teammate. Trey's a couple years older. Trey Donaldson from Auburn, Michigan, and now playing for the University of Miami.
7-point deficit for State. Hubbard just 1 for 8. Atsura, wow! Oh. From Slovenia by way of Vevey, Switzerland. He throws it down with the hammer.
I was wondering, like international players, like when he's yelling, is he doing his language?
That's a great
So
question.
no technicals can come his way.
Barrett steps through, and he drew a whistle. And Epps will be charged with his second.
You know, Matt Sura is a guy that when you talk to Chris Jans, he just says, man, I wish I had 3 or 4 of these kind of guys. Smart, intelligent, knows how to play, passes, cuts, allows his teammates freedom.
Well, the team he played for last season, KK Mega Betamax, he had Drazen Petrovic's son, who's now starring for Brad Underwood at Illinois. Yelovich, who's now seeing more time for Mark Pope's team at Kentucky. They got a big one tonight. And Jovic, who's Oklahoma, right? Yeah. That one for Matsura coming. I think they all flew over in the same flight.
Private.
Like kickers from Australia. We'll tell you where you're going. Come on over. Theo Barrett at the free throw line. He's got 12 points. 7-point Missouri advantage. Barrett's been in double figures now 5 out of 6 games. Hubbard trying to find a late bucket and pick up some momentum. McGee gives it up. Here's Hubbard. Got Barrett in the air. Short.
A tough shot. Barrett has done an outstanding job on Hubbard, just not allowing Hubbard to get comfortable at all in the offensive end.
Shot clock off for Mizzou and Teal Barrett. Three. Boateng inside. Got to get rid of it. Mitchell has it blocked, and that's how the half will end. Missouri with a 42-35 lead, which has been a roller coaster first half. Let's get to the studio. If they were frozen characters, it would be Hans Christoph and the Duke of Weselton, Peter Burns himself.
Confidence gets higher, and he controls the pace and everything with the ball in his hands.
I go back to our pregame conversation with Scott Padgett, one of Mississippi State's assistants, and he said, you know, it takes a while this day and age to get to know your personnel and for these guys to get to know their teammates. Remember, Missouri was not full strength until after the new year. Here's Stone. Brings it back out.
Pretty good set first play. If the pass was a little bit better by Barrett, Stone would have it easier.
Phillips, good touch by the footer.
Pretty nice, go back to the left hand. Doesn't shoot a lot, but very efficient inside around the rim.
His first bucket of the day.
And Epps is starting the second half.
Here's Hubbard. Achor has it blocked by Pierce. Mitchell will lead the break. No numbers. And he drew the whistle. The third on Sean Jones already.
You know, the way Mitchell attacks, especially in the open court, you can tell he's a player that's been around a long time. He's not in a hurry, not rushed. He puts a pressure on the defender with his slowing down offensively to make the play versus speeding up.
Was a McDonald's All-American coming out of Sunrise Christian at 19 points in that All-Star game coming out of high school. King Grace immediately comes in for Jones, who will take a seat.
And remember, Grace came in the first half, hit a three, had a couple steals. They had some activity.
Tigers have equaled their largest lead now, up 11. So do you run stuff for Hubbard or let him create?
Well, a lot of times he's on the bounce, so it's very difficult to run stuff. But when he gets off it, can he come off screens? Barrett, defender at 6'4", is bigger, longer, and it's tough.
Epps buries it after a little sidestep.
And maybe you run stuff for Hubbard to look like it's for Hubbard, but you let Epps do his work.
That's why they got him. Find some balance in that backcourt with Hubbard. Mitchell on Achor, who gets whistled for the foul.
You always kind of wonder, and when you watch Missouri and you watch Mark Mitchell, Mitchell's a very difficult cover, just one-on-one. And if you don't send a second defender, because of how the collegiate game is called, you know, the reach, he kind of shows the ball to a defender. And when he spins, he kind of puts it in front of you. And if there's a reach now and then, those officials are going to blow that whistle.
Another one coming from Mitchell. He provided the highlight of the season with the walk-off winner against Oklahoma. Mitchell into double figures. And Tigers pick up full court. Hubbard so far this afternoon is 0 for 4 from deep. That has him 2 for his last 15.
Wow. And if you're T.O. Barrett, you don't let up when you're guarding Hubbard. You do not want Hubbard to get started.
Five on the shot clock. Epps. Yes, sir. He is feeling it.
What a ball game he's playing.
His career high is 34. That came back in November of 23 against Jackson State. Mitchell the lob, Phillips the finish. How about that for the two big?
Wow. Phillips a high riser. Again, Mitchell just good off the dribble.
State has been a one-man show today, and it hasn't been Josh Hubbard. Nearly a 5-second. It is. Barrett forces Mississippi State into another turnover, 9th of the game.
So one of the things about Hubbard, if you mentioned maybe to get going, you've got to have a couple defensive stops. Get out on the open floor, because then he won't be picked up so quick. Outstanding defense by any teammate that he's trying to find.
Here's Stone.
Bulldogs lucky. Epps got caught sleeping, didn't pay attention where Stone was.
Pierce has good size, gets cut off by Grace. 10 to shoot. Stone lost him, dumps it off, and Phillips the jam. And Chris Jans is taking a timeout. He's going to take two guys out of this game. He is not happy with the effort to start this second half. Missouri has outscored State 10-6 since the intermission.
The NBA on ESPN and ABC is happening now. And right now, this season is unpredictable. The East is wide open, while the West challenges the Thunder. We know this rookie class is special. This MVP race is tight, and this crew is the best. So for Inside, Primetime, Showcase, Finals, and everywhere in between, there's one place to call home.
On ESPN, the stars have never been brighter. League One Volleyball on ESPN2 and streaming on the ESPN app.
The NHL is on a course set for winter treasure in a most unexpected place. A hockey takeover of Raymond James Stadium. Where Original Six prestige collides with a Sunshine State powerhouse. Two teams take their shot at a one-of-a-kind game. The NHL Stadium Series. Bruins, Lightning, Sunday, February 1st on ESPN and the ESPN app.
Inside the NBA has it all. The hustle, the swag,
this drip right here,
and whatever's going on here.
I don't know that man.
Home of Inside the NBA, all season, playoffs, and finals long.
Golden afternoon here in the Show Me State. Missouri leads by 11. Let's check out the good hands play brought to you by Allstate.
Activity on the defensive end usually leads to something better offensively. T.O. Barrett, another outstanding game. Pierce with an easy finish. This was early in the ball game, but one of the things Missouri's done well offensively is share the basketball, found openings, guys that can shoot it, have knocked in shots, but unselfish play. When they do that and the ball doesn't stick, all of a sudden you get a lot more finishes. And when you get high finishes by Phillips, who shoots 70%, it's a pretty good afternoon. 11
assists on 16 buckets for Missouri today. Offense taster than the smoked wings at D. Rose. Now, Mitchell has been one of the most consistent performers in the league this year. 11 points already and 3 assists for the big man. What's the separator for great passing big man?
First, you have to have good vision, good hands that you're catching the ball and then seeing the floor. I mean, some bigs don't catch it cleanly, so if you make a cut, they miss you. He's got great hands, plus because of his ability to score, they've got to honor that, and eyes are on him. Other defenders, they can cut, do other things his teammates can. He'll find it. High IQ player.
No Hubbard on the floor, coming out of the timeout for State. Grace hangs, tried to spin it in. Phillips slow to get up under the standard on the left side. Missouri playing 4-on-5 right now.
And the Bulldogs are going to have to be careful.
Pierce throws it in on a 4-on-5, and Phillips will exit.
Well, I mentioned the Bulldogs have to be careful. They've got to continue to try to get buckets, obviously, to keep it in there. But if they don't guard on the defensive end and allow this to happen, Trent Pierce just trails. No communication by Mississippi State. Wide open look. And they've now, Missouri has built up a 14-point lead.
It's a 7-0 Mizzou run. Pretty good size on the floor for Missouri right now. Burns at 7'5", Pierce at 6'10" at the 3 spot. The 6'9" Mitchell looks small out there behind Burns.
And if you got Burns on there, you want to make him cover.
Floater by Epps.
A smart play. They took Ballard, had him set the screen. Burns had to try to help out, couldn't stay with the Epps.
Mitchell. Burns got it with one hand. And Mitchell maneuvers his way under the rim. Tigers another crack at it. 8th offensive rebound of the night for Mizzou.
Got a rebound with 5 guys. King Grace got caught trying to leak and go the other way.
Barrett tried to fit it in, but turned it over. Epps stop and pop. Kind of felt like that was going to go, didn't it?
Yeah, it looked good. He was almost backing up after he let it go.
Mitchell muscles his way and ends in a whistle against Jamarion Davis-Fleming. That'll send us to a timeout here in Columbia. Tigers with a 12-point lead over Mississippi State.
Yeah, I was wanting to start, but if you're coming off the bench, if you've been a starter and they now have you coming off the bench, it's kind of like they expect you to have instant offense. You come in, you're either trying to keep the game going like it is, if that means they're playing well, or to change the game. And in this instance, early in this game, they were down. His idea probably would, I've got to change the game.
So you have the freedom
going.
offensively.
Yeah, more freedom.
On a 2 from the line for Mitchell.
And if your teammate that scores 21 points a ball game only has 2, you kind of go, I'll take it upon myself to get us some buckets.
And Hubbard plays on average 33 minutes a game, but he has spent a good chunk of this one sitting in a chair.
Good catch.
Jaden Stone picks up his first. Sergei Matsura at the free throw line. He's from Slovenia, his mid-teens. He played down in Spain and then returned to Slovenia, played with the Slovenian national team. Point Tiger lead.
This Bulldog team, Tom, this season is not as disruptive as a lot of Mississippi State teams have been the last 3 years under Chris James. Just different defensive pieces than they've had before.
By the way, Barrett going to work. Nice pass inside of Pierce, but in the background, you couldn't help but notice the 7-foot, 250-pound center Sean Phillips Jr. returning from the Missouri locker room after he turned his ankle and went back to get that looked at a few minutes ago. Epps pulls on Mitchell. And loose ball scooped up by Barrett.
I know he's played well. I don't like the shot as much if he takes the defender off the dribble. Gets him moving, leaning a certain way, and then shoot the mid-range jump shot.
Barrett got a half step on Grace, shoves it up, and rebounded by Pierce, who tried to spike it and was successful off of Epps. Josh Hubbard back on the floor. Epps takes a seat, so he will pass the offensive baton. And you wonder how long Epps will sit at 14-10.
And we'll see if Hubbard can get going. Missouri's just covered him up and not allowed him any easy looks. But again, if you get a defensive stop, miss, turnover, and a push, maybe Hubbard gets a bucket that way.
They're going to the replay monitor.
We're looking for a timing
Oh.
Make sure the timing is correct.
Thank
Is that
you,
what you were
Pat.
going to say?
No, it actually wasn't. I thought
You should have gone with that one.
I thought they were going to go back and look at a play down here on the rebound when Barrett took a hand to the face, but nobody noticed that. You know, we haven't talked much about the video coordinators, whatever title you have, the assistant coaches,
seconds on the shot clock.
Behind
and the
bench.
managers, staff members who are running the iPads. That's a lot of pressure to either find those things or get it to your coach to make a challenge or an appeal.
Yeah, they've got to be quick, and they've got to pay more attention than anybody is paying attention to this game. Anybody. Like, they've got to look at every little thing.
I've always thought the guys who would be best for that job, and this goes for like college football replay review guys.
Yeah.
Go find me a teenager who plays a lot of video games, because they see every detail on a screen, no matter how big or small.
Got to be NIL money for that.
I would think. Mitchell, a lefty.
Old versus young. Senior versus freshman.
16-point advantage is the largest lead of the game for Mizzou. Hubbard gets a touch.
And Missouri's got to be locked in communication-wise to be able to cover Hubbard up like they've done. Now, that's typical Josh Hubbard. Does that ignite something? But Bulldogs have to do something on the defensive end.
Well, Barrett blew it. Had a clean path. Here's Hubbard trying to weave his way through. What a pass. And then he gets it right back.
He's the old-fashioned jump shooter. Tom shoots at the top of the jump.
Nice touch by Cruz.
And if you're missing shots short, as an old-fashioned jump shooter, you shoot it earlier on the elevation up. Let the ball go earlier.
King Grace nearly turned it over. Hubbard alone. Can't do that. First three of the night for Josh Hubbard comes at the 12:40 mark.
Tom, you and I both seen him put on a show in a hurry.
Yep.
He can do it.
In a 38-point game against Alabama, he hit 6 threes in that one. It's a Bulldog team that is 337th in the country in assist rate. And it's easy to draw the conclusion a lot of that is because Hubbard is a creator with the ball in his hands as the leading scorer.
Yeah, good point. I mean, that's true. He can dominate a ball, which is good. It's scorers do. I think you made a good question to assistant coach Scott Padgett. Are there any, do you consider any of his bad shots? Well, you always have to live with certain guys taking certain shots. He has more freedom and leeway.
I think it depends on how a staff defines a bad shot. A lot of that is relative to the other 4 guys on the floor, and relative to your performance in that particular game.
Yep. Good
Nice
pass.
feed.
Yeah, very nice. Very nicely done.
The assist to Jabari McGee, and now he's guarding Stone. Mitchell going to work. Over Davis Fleming.
Such a difficult cover.
I think he's so reliable and consistent that maybe he doesn't get the appreciation around the league.
I think you're right. I think he'll be first team all league because everybody that plays him understands it takes so many different angles to try to guard him with more than one guy.
That's the 4th personal on Sean Jones Jr. It sends us to a timeout with Missouri up 13.
An easy time scoring when Mark Mitchell gets the basketball.
Mitchell's got 16 and 4 assists.
A little triangle and 2. They're face guarding Trent Pierce, and they're going to guard Stone.
Why pick those 2 guys?
2 guys. Well, they're both shooters, both scorers. You're now going to play 3-on-3 basketball and zone it up and see if they can score.
Wow! Where did Boateng come from?
My goodness.
That'll be on SEC Now tonight. Boateng again. Oh my goodness, he lost his footing. And he's holding his left knee. Mississippi State will have a chance the other way, and now they stop play. They immediately brought out an air cast as Dennis Gates is speaking with Honor Boateng.
And Dennis Gates ran right out. When Boateng went down, Dennis Gates went right out.
It is a brace, pardon me, that they're putting on Honor Boateng underneath the basket. You just had a highlight reel dunk that took the roof off of this building. Chris Jans is not happy, and this is not against Honor Boateng or his injury, but Chris Jans is fighting hard to get this team in the game as they bring the stretcher out for Honor Boateng, and his complaint is that they had an advantage on this side of the court. Now, it is within the referee's right to stop play whenever. Usually, if a player is not in grave danger, even though he may be hurt, they let them play until that advantage has been evened out.
But I think Trent Pierce grabbed the ball handle. So I thought they called a foul, which then would stop play.
Pat Adams was involved in a play years ago at the SEC tournament. I believe it was with Mississippi State, where there was an injured player under one basket. The ball came the opposite way. There's a quick turnover back, and then suddenly that player who was on the ground was put in danger. So yeah. Pat is a veteran official. Yeah. He's been on both sides of this numerous times over the years. We've got a little bit of delay here while Honor Boateng is being tended to by the medical crew. Let's get you back to the studio and check in with those guys.
It's something good, Dar. That does bring peace to you too, Dar. Being able to go see your teammate and him with his facial expression, his emotions under control, it helps you to go out and continue it, because I've been a part of it where you watch the guy leave and you don't have any idea what's going on.
Yeah.
It's tough.
This is good. Right.
Yeah.
See, just a little bit of relief.
Right.
Mental relief. All right. We hope nothing but the best for Honor Boateng as we kick it back out to Tom and Sonny, guys.
All right, Dari, thank you. So Dennis Gates spent a lot of time with Honor when he was on the floor. And a point of clarification, the clock was stopped, and they fixed the clock situation. They did have the foul on Trent Pierce. It stopped play, and 2 thumbs up for Honor Boateng as he exits on a stretcher out of Little Rock, Arkansas. 2-time Gatorade Arkansas Player of the Year. Left knee injury for Honor Boateng. As good a response as you could hope to see for a player injured like that.
Yeah, and I think the guys in the studio said it's as important. We all hope Honor Boateng is okay. But his teammates have to finish a game. And so for them to see him go off and at least wave different than it could have been, right? So I think it obviously affects his teammates more than it affects the other guys.
Right. Now, I'm curious why Chris Jans was so upset now that we know that they got the foul on Pierce.
I don't, to be honest, I don't think it had anything to do with that play or this play. I think he's been on him pretty hard about a few things. The most common thing he's mad about has been the foul calls when they're defending Mark Mitchell. And I've watched him react about every time in the second half, thinking he doesn't think Mitchell has been getting hit as much as Mitchell's trying to get contact.
Another Mississippi State turnover. 20 of Missouri's 66 points have come following the 10 Mississippi State turnovers. Go back to triangle and 2.
Looks like it. They got the 2 shooters. They're going to guard Cruz.
You mentioned the matchup zone State got into in the first half. They only run zone 5% of the time.
And the communication there wasn't good, because you wouldn't let Pierce get the open shot.
Back into the corner, Barrett. And Barrett trying to reverse it in. Cruz gets stuck underneath. Here comes Hubbard. 4 on 3. Cross-court bounce pass to Epps, back to Hubbard. If you're a State fan, as Ballard misses the jump hook, you just wonder what could have been. With Epps having a productive and efficient offensive game, if Hubbard was his normal self. This is a completely different game.
And that's how they won when they were at Texas. Hubbard had 38. Epps was in the upper 20s in that game.
Well, it's the second best scoring duo in the league behind Holloway and Philon in Tuscaloosa. And Arkansas doing it with a pair of freshmen, Malik Thomas and Acup.
So what is good for Mississippi State? There's still 9 minutes and 43 seconds. There's a lot of time. Now, they have missed 3-4 straight chances on the offensive end to narrow into this lead. You don't get enough possessions in a row where the home team doesn't figure something out on the offensive end.
And a backcourt violation. Robinson forced it. Hubbard thought it had been tipped.
Well, regarded as maybe the best defender, on-ball defender in the SEC. He's got long hands. Seemed like Ant hit that ball.
I thought so. I would think, not to get too technical, but the trajectory of the ball, had he turned himself as a ball handler, would have thrown it in the backcourt, would have been much different. Well, Ant Robinson has been in foul trouble a lot when he was been on the floor a lot. Barrett can't follow his own miss. In fact, this last week he had only 2 more assists and personal fouls. And Hubbard gets a whistle. He'll go to the line. Third on Jacob Cruz.
So think of the game in a way of whatever team you're cheering for. It's been 5 straight possessions. Now Hubbard will go to the line, but Missouri has not scored on 5 straight. So either Missouri could have extended the lead or Mississippi State could get back in this game, and they're not taking advantage of opportunities. And where does Missouri normally go when they're kind of in a drought? I expect Mark Mitchell to have a touch in this possession.
Hubbard sitting on 8. 6 of those 8 coming in the second half. And Robinson for 3.
Still triangle, same thing, triangle and 2 on that defense.
Epps got Barrett off balance, and a follow tip is good for a chore. Right, how do you attack a triangle in 2?
Well, obviously, Robinson had an open look. The thing is to get Mitchell in the middle of the floor. If Robinson gives Mitchell the ball now, you're going to make either Epps double team, you can defend him. But if Mitchell just gets the ball, he'll have a way to attack. Now, he shouldn't settle for outside jump shots.
Half dozen for Anthony Robinson.
You can also have the guy that's being individually guarded. 2 guys set screens to make defenders switch. So you've got odd guys that are guarding the ball that you don't want to have guarded.
Barrett forced Epps into an off-balance shot. Here's Mark Mitchell. Robinson.
Like offensive foul. Yeah, he hooked him. Hooked him on the dribble.
7:44 to play in regulation. Missouri leads by 2 touchdowns. Seasons for the first time since 2013. Missouri missed opportunities in the non-conference with rivalry games against Kansas and Illinois. Got a big win against Minnesota, and the Gophers have kind of had an up and down season. They've had a couple of good wins and then head scratching losses. Hubbard finishes with the left.
Nice finish. Yeah, sometimes the strength of schedule ends up being how well those teams play the rest of the year.
And it has got to be nearly impossible to try and figure that out now with the portal, right? Mitchell gets the foul. It used to be you could predict who of mid-major teams were going to win their league and going to win 23 games, and that would look good based on the old stats. Now you're looking at a roster going, wait, who is there? How good will that team be?
Yeah.
Talking with Gates earlier this season, it was before the KU game in Kansas City, and he was very specific. Like, listen, I want to win 75% of my games. I want to put us in a position to be playing our best during conference play. And there's more than one way to skin a cat, obviously. Nate Oates went the other direction with the same goal. Mitchell rolls it home.
I think they should have fans vote. See who they'd like to watch.
Oh,
come in their building.
Who do you want on our
yeah.
schedule?
Who would you like to see? They pay for the tickets.
Epps off the glass and in.
Have they stopped Epps off the bounce? No. He's been pretty good.
It's his 25th 20-point game.
They're going to allow. Well, Mitchell now. They should double team him when he comes in.
Hubbard with the takeaway.
Numbers.
Nice.
So now you're under 10. You're at 9 points.
And a warning from Jason Baker after the ball was hit.
And good job of officiating. Stay away from the extracurricular activity after the play. And the Bulldog bench is trying to tell a chore, just play.
So who do you think Missouri fans would vote to add to the non-conference schedule?
That's a hard question.
Probably a lot of
some former Big 12 schools, like an Iowa State, do a home and home.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I think the last time they played them was when Michael Porter got injured early in that game. Pierce going to work.
Nice pass.
And Stone gets it to roll home. Credit Pierce with the assist. Achor picks up his fourth. And one coming for Jaden Stone.
One thing about a triangle, and two, the triangle sometimes is not paying attention to where any players are. And so if you just play basketball and the triangle is just kind of guarding space, you can find openings, and that time it was an easy dunk.
Point play for Stone. By the way, among those former conference rivals, I don't know if you'd want Nebraska on the schedule this year. What a year there.
That's it.
But if you left it all up to the fans, and Stumpy Joe Peets would probably still be open. Here comes Epps. Hubbard up the bounce.
So now with Epps on the ball, Hubbard off the ball, and the way Epps has controlled his defender, maybe that helps Hubbard get going.
They've cut it to single digits. Hubbard's got 11 of his 13 in the second half.
See the two guys in the backside of the triangle defense not really doing much. You got to go defend somewhere, and if Mitchell comes in the lane, double team him.
And Mitchell puts up an air ball from 3 feet. He is slow to get up.
And remember that Chris Jans has been on the officials about blowing the whistle.
Big block by Robinson. Achor gathers.
And Mitchell's late getting back. He might have hurt his leg. He tried to foul them.
Step through. And then a foul on Robinson at the back end.
And Mitchell tried to foul Tom because he's hurt. I don't know how badly he's hurt, but he's going straight to the bench.
It's not an injury that Missouri could afford. He will go all the way to the end to get some attention from the athletic training staff. Chris Perrin is Missouri's athletic trainer. State trailed by 7 at the half. And a warning on Pierce for crossing the line.
And Missouri likes to invite you to catch the pass in the corner so they can double team. The 3 ball here kind of changes the mood and the atmosphere in this building.
Oh, you bet. State 40% from deep today. Epps takes it on Hubbard's side, and he gets it stripped by Robinson. State will have it with 9 seconds on the shot clock. And now Anthony Robinson may be hurt. Boateng taken off the court on a stretcher. Phillips twisted his ankle, and Mitchell is at the end of the bench for Mizzou. And looks like Robinson took a shot to the midsection. Didn't see it. Epps attacks after the pass into the backcourt. Offensive rebound, another crack at it. Hubbard. And Missouri secures it, under 5 to play. Missouri leading by 9.
Well, 2 opportunities. I'm not sure the best shots in the world. Hubbard had 2 guys jumping at him. Epps was so deep. Not the purest of shooters. Stone, big time scorer, whether shooting or. Oh, wow, pass. Good block. Wow.
Davis Fleming with the help defense, and now tipped away by Pierce. Cruz wants to tee it up. You know, sometimes I ask with a wink and a nod, did somebody leave a door open? The door is actually open. The door to the building in the corner behind us, they left it open to try and cool down the red hot thermostat.
You know, Cruz is a good shooter too.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just happens. That's wide right by a bunch. I mean, Trent Pierce, he ducked. He said, wow, what is that? Oh.
Sometimes it's a Cruz missile, sometimes it's a scud.
All right, here we go, Tom. 4 minutes. State down 9 on the road.
Epps downhill through traffic.
Have your best player this afternoon. Put it in his hands. They did. Epps. Building is somewhat quiet.
Closest since it was 48-41 Missouri, and a timeout taken by Dennis Gates will send us away. Missouri will have possession, but the Tigers just 2 for their last 10. 23 of State's 30. Well, good news for Missouri after suffering devastating injury to Outer Boateng and seeing Sean Phillips leave the game. Mark Mitchell is back on the floor. Missouri this season is 14-0 when scoring 73 points or more.
Straight matchup zone. Now 1 pass, they go to man. Again, I would expect Mark Mitchell to get touches. Size advantage.
Robinson got Hubbard in the air. That was late in the shot clock. Epps surveying as he brings it up. Goes past Robinson. And Missouri gets the rebound. Too many empty possessions for State this half.
Yeah, I mean, and they're right there.
Epps is hounding Stone. Stone leaves him behind and finishes. Double figures for Stone. State the other way.
That's a man who wanted a bucket, Stone. He didn't leave it alone, but they didn't get back defensively. Good finish by Grace.
7-point lead still.
If I'm Missouri, I don't forget about number 25 up top of the ball, but get him in a position where he can just play simply basketball in the paint.
He'll take it himself. Davis Fleming maybe got a piece of it.
It's good defense.
State's a bucket away from getting back in this thing. Hubbard foul on the 3. And that is how you get back into the game if you're Mississippi State.
Elevation on a jump shot, and if you're playing a great shooter, you can't give him any space. Good pass, good catch, and we've seen it for 3 years. When Hubbard gets on a roll, he is tough to stop. You can see Stone, the reaction right when he went at him, that he's in trouble.
3 threes for Hubbard, all in the second half. A free throw away from a 1-possession game.
And how about the defensive play by freshman Davis Fleming, who's matched up against Mitchell's just got to stay from fouling, see if he can cause Mitchell to miss. He did on the last possession.
And down the wire we come. State fans in the building appreciate this comeback. Missouri led by 16 with 13 minutes left. Last few possessions, Missouri's used a lot of clock. Nobody on Barrett.
And it's really, again, triangle and 2. The 2 guys are going to guard. They're going to let the other 3, Barrett being 1, take open shots.
Epps. And Barrett got a piece of that one. Under 2 minutes to play. Missouri just 1 for 8 from 3 in the second half.
Keep an eye on Hubbard with the ball. Quick trigger.
Great matchup with Robinson. And Robinson with the hand check. For 3 on Missouri's guard.
The ability of Hubbard to control defenders because of his explosiveness, whether he's going up for the shot or by you, makes him tough to defend. And if you let up like Robinson did, then you're a half step off and all you did was try to grab.
Hubbard 2 for 3 from the free throw line tonight. He came in at 80%. Hard to find anybody in his first 2 years of major college basketball more productive from a scoring standpoint, but he misses the free throw, and Missouri draws the whistle and will walk down to the other end.
A huge miss because he makes 2 there. It's a 1-point game. I know there's a lot of time left, but Hubbard cannot give those away on the road.
Mizzou and a 1-on-1 on the other side. Mark Mitchell. Mitchell over the last 2 games, John, is just 2 for 12 from the free throw line.
Well, he was good in the Oklahoma game here.
Pardon me, I looked at the wrong column. 6 for 10 today. So that makes him 7 for 18.
In the home game, 10 of 12. Then he went on the road, 1 of 8. Back in this building, see if he can take it when it counts the most.
And he's earned another. Remember, Missouri came in at less than 67% from the line as a team, 16th in the league. With no strokes.
4-point swing by the fact that Josh Hubbard didn't make his 2, because then there wouldn't have been a foul.
They rise to their feet here at Mizzou Arena.
Just like to go to the right. His mid-range game has been terrific.
Over Barrett. Skips off. They crash the glass, and State extends the possession for Hubbard. Barrett with the rebound. And T.O. Barrett will head to the free throw line. It's a 4th on King Grace.
Another offensive rebound and a chance for a bucket. Hubbard missed an open look. And we've talked about Missouri not being a great free throw shooting team, but they can win this game from the free throw line from here on out.
Barrett came in at 81% from the line. He is perfect so far today. Both teams have a pair of timeouts remaining. Tigers have made their last 4 from the line.
Now the pace has to pick up for the Bulldogs. Can't be slow getting into anything offensively.
Hubbard drew a whistle, and he'll go to the line for 2. That is number 4 on Anthony Robinson. Hubbard just 2 for 4 from the free throw line today. He set the Mississippi State record for scoring. He passed former Bulldog Robert Woodard. And he was at Madison Ridgeland Academy, and he wasted no time when he got to Starkville, filling it up early. 2 very productive first couple of seasons. Now 2 for 2, and Hubbard has 17 in the second half.
And obviously, McGee is now inserted. A terrific defender. They've got 3 guards to match up Missouri's 3 guards.
State going full court. Mitchell gives it up to Barrett. Barrett nearly lost it. It'll stay with Mizzou. 1:10 to play.
Surprised the Laurie brothers, Barry and Bill, neither one of them caught it.
Well,
Right
star for sales. If Barry would have caught it, he would have shot it.
One of the great shooters ever.
Good turnaround for Hubbard. Kind of had a feeling he was going to get to his number one way or another, by hook or by crook. McGee jumps out on Barrett.
And I think he fouled. They're down 5. Now they're going to play it out. Might as well foul earlier.
Yeah, I think there's some miscommunication with McGee and Epps, and Epps ends up picking up his 3rd to stop the clock with 1:02 to play. And Anthony Robinson is 2nd at the free throw line.
It's got to go with their confidence. Only 2 of 4 this afternoon. It's not played well the last number of ball games. Much better.
Well, in the first half for Missouri, it was a season-high 8 threes. And once we hit the under 4 timeout, Missouri's been nearly unstoppable at the free throw line. Made their last 6. Hubbard down 7, a minute to play.
And Missouri does not want to foul. Try to contain without foul.
Whoa! A couple of kids from St. Joe Central caught that one in row number 4. 14th turnover of the game for Mississippi State. That has led to 20 points for Missouri, and most importantly for State now, it's a lost possession.
I keep wondering, Mark Mitchell kept walking further up the sideline. I thought, well, he's going to go too far. You can't take it out where you'd like to take it out. Now I'm surprised they're not fouled.
Pass the midcourt line, and McGee tried to foul. It didn't get the whistle. Maybe came a hair late. That was the intent for McGee. Do you think they didn't want to foul in the backcourt and wanted to see if they could get a violation?
Well, you can see if you can get a steal. Rarely will you get 10 seconds. You could, but then I mean, you're down. You're down 7, so you've got to extend this game. And the way Missouri is shooting free throws, don't worry about the numbers. They're making them this afternoon in the late in this ball game.
7 straight from the free throw line. And Chris Jans is going to go to the podium afterwards and say, listen, this is the worst shooting team in the league at the free throw line, and they closed out the game and didn't miss. Hubbard. Last gasp for Mississippi State. Epps hesitated. Hubbard launches. Got it!
He is fun to watch. It's great range. Top of the jump over a good defender like Robinson.
That is a 20-point second half. How does a great scorer turn it on when the furnace has gone cold?
Well, great scorers don't worry about it, do they? They just line up and get ready for the next possession. And look at that defense. It's right in his face. All twined when that thing was released at such the peak of his jump. Great arch. probably, maybe a little too late.
The team,
all depends if Missouri
Mississippi
could
State coach
make
is
free
going to
throws.
appeal a non-basketball play on the previous play.
So an appeal is used a similar way as a challenge. It will cost you a timeout if you lose the appeal, and we don't yet know what they're appealing the non-basketball play, but they're looking essentially for what we would think of as a flagrant 1 or a flagrant 2.
So someone in the Mississippi State organization behind the bench saw something.
And this could go
And
back,
they're
by the way,
usually-
to the previous stoppage. You could go back to numerous possessions.
And they're usually pretty accurate, right? This is why you...
Well, a chicken wing flew up from Jaden Stone as he went in for the rebound. That's the only movement I saw without knowing exactly where to focus our attention. And it looks like Mason Baker is going to explain it to the Mississippi State huddle. Doesn't look like good news for State. It doesn't hurt, right? I mean, you lose a timeout,
right?
So that's unfortunate, but it's certainly worth the risk when you're at this point.
Well, if it's what we're looking at, I mean, you're kind of guessing or trying to pull for something.
Yeah.
I thought it would be something different. It still might be. They're still looking at it.
Tigers offensively have made just 1 of their last 7, but they've done it at the free throw line, and Jan's explaining what they saw or thought they saw to create the challenge, or the appeal, pardon me. Would have been Missouri's ball anyway after the made 3, and you still obviously want to foul immediately.
Well, yeah, it's just interesting to me. They're still looking. Like, it's Jason Baker was over there explaining, but his partners, Todd Austin and Pat Adams, are still going over something. Again, I don't feel it's part of the play we were looking at. It's just my guess, because wasn't a whole lot there. Tough on folks with dinner reservations, Tom.
Murray's doesn't take reservations.
The play that Mississippi State wants appealed is outside the window, so that play will not be appealed.
Okay, well, that was all for naught. If it came before the previous stoppage of play, they would have had to appeal it prior. If nothing else, Jan stole a timeout.
Now you get to set up pressure. You go for a steal. If not, you got to foul, extend this game.
Into Mitchell.
And you'd like to foul Mitchell.
Mitchell able to give it up, and now Barrett turns it over at midcourt, and there's the whistle. We'll have 2 free throws coming the other way. Montserrat with his first.
And I do understand when you're maybe feel you can get a steal. I always think at this level it's always tough. But if Mark Mitchell catches it, who's inconsistent at the foul line, wouldn't that be where you go instead of letting them swing the ball? Barrett's been pretty solid this whole season from the free throw line.
And 7 for 7 today. What difference has Barrett made in the starting lineup?
Well, he's a difference. You know what? He makes things happen on both ends of the floor. He attacks on the offensive end, and defensively, he can guard the best of the best in this league.
And he remains perfect from the charity stripe. Missouri hadn't made a bucket in 2.5 minutes, but they've made 9 of their last 10 free throws.
And good defense to chew clock up by this Tiger team.
Here's Hubbard. In and out. T.O. Barrett's got it, and he's going to give it up to Jake Stone, and State will stop the clock at least one more time. 10.2 remaining. This is a quality win for Missouri team. They came in here having dropped 3 of its previous 4. Got a walk-off winner against Oklahoma in dramatic fashion after losing at the buzzer the previous game against Georgia. So they get a struggling South Carolina squad next, and then buckyball on the road in Aggieland.
How about A&M? 7-1, and pounded Georgia this afternoon.
Unranked and leading the league. One of the best leagues in college basketball. Probably shouldn't continue, right?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Meaning the unranked part of it. Here's Stone. Missouri looking to continue its home dominance. Second winningest program at home over the last 2 seasons.
Too much for the Bulldogs to overcome. Tom, when they got down, missed possessions offensively.
Yep.
Remember, there were about 4 or 5 in a row that they had a chance to cut the lead, and they didn't. And on the other end, Missouri has made their free throws down the stretch.
Only missed 2 in the last 3 minutes. Hubbard almost came down with it, maybe did, and a 3 from the corner with 1.9. That will run out the clock on Mississippi State. Missouri with the win, 84-79. Partner, always fun to sit next to you and watch some basketball.
Yeah, solid game. Missouri took care of home court like they're supposed to do. Be safe, Tom.
Safe travels, everybody. Missouri with the win by 5 over Mississippi State. Let's get to the studio. A lot to cover. Here's Dari Noble.
All righty.